Shall we start?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. I thought you'll be saying something. Namaste to everyone. Videos, so everyone's is off. I would request people to switch on the videos. How many of you have attended this session before?
Ma'am, can I just take the slides, intro slides?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was waiting for actually. Yeah.
So welcome everyone to Get Set Up. Awareness about mudras. So our today's guide is Premlata ma'am, a 67-year-old Kolkata-based entrepreneur, educator, and lifelong learner. Her journey spanning diverse fields proves that age is no obstacle to staying active and impactful. With an MBA and a French diploma, her entrepreneurial spirit ignited in education hand mudras.
That
Ma'am,
is my guru. Yeah, that's my guru. I owe everything to him. Yeah.
oh,
So I'll take over now.
yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you. So I was asking Vandana ji, to yes, I remember you seeing you. Anybody else here who's attended before? Okay. Okay.
I attended in Saurabh Bothra's classes also.
Oh, okay. That is going on now in Hindi also. We finished 2 days, 3 more days left. Hindi mein. Okay, so namaste and welcome. So we have seen the first few slides. Objectives of the session. We'll know a little about what are hand mudras, benefits of hand mudras, mudras and brain, mudras connected to, how our diseases, we acquire diseases is when there is an imbalance of the panchatatvas, when the chakras are blocked, and when the panchapranas do not flow properly. And then we'll demonstrate a few Arogya mudras and a few Chikitsa mudras. So what are mudras? We'll first see that. Mudras are an independent anga or limb of yoga. It is known as yoga anga. Like we have asanas, pranayama, meditation. All these are also part of yoga. Similarly, mudras are also a part of yoga. Yoga, as we know, means anything that leads you to union. So through mudras also you can achieve that same state. Now mudras have a very strong advantage over other systems that even when you are unwell, you can be lying down in bed and you can hold the mudras for cure. Mudras require no tool absolutely except these 5 fingers of yours, nothing else. Now, mudras, when we say the word mudras, it is a common term which includes kaya mudras or the asanas. Sorry. It includes the shirisa mudras, mano mudras, shwasa mudras. Our focus is on hand mudras. Within hand mudras also we have, Chikitsa mudras, we have Natya mudras, Puja mudras, and then we also have Hatha Yoga mudras. Again, our focus is streamlined to Chikitsa mudras. Chikitsa mudras are about 101, but these days, once you know the entire scientific background, which means including the panchapranas, chakras, and panchatattvas, you can decide mudra for yourself. Like there's a lady from UK, she has attended my complete course twice. And she says, when I get up in the morning, I decide what does my body need. And so she may make her own mudra also. So there are mudras for people who have no ailments, and there are specific mudras for specific ailments as well. We all would agree that the biggest miracle is this human body, which no scientist can replicate, despite cloning and whatever they can do. And similarly, these human hands perform so many functions during the day, which are precise, which are complicated, but controlled. And all of these is controlled by the brain. The tiny muscles in the hands have motor neural endings. And whatever mudra you perform, the first impulse is generated in the brain. The shapes, with these fingers, we can bend and touch and twist and form so many mudras, so many gestures, and these gestures are known as mudras. Mudras also mean a seal or a lock. So what we are actually doing is we are locking that energy in our body wherever we want. We can manipulate, if you want to use that word. We can lock that energy. Yato mana tato prana. Wherever we want, we can lock it. Where you feel is the need for that moment. Like I said, that lady, she decides what she wants early morning. Modern scientific research has established that mudras affect the heart and the lungs. And today there are many scientific papers, research papers available on the internet. Many. So we'll just have a look at how mudras are connected to the brain. This image is just, to give an idea that different portions of the brain they correspond to different organs in the body, different parts of the body. So suppose you're holding this mudra, it is affected to a different part in your brain and connected to a different organ in your body. So that particular area receives the energy. So this is just for us to understand the concept. We do not have to remember which portion of the brain, because when we hold the mudra for a particular ailment, we know that a particular area will be affected. So you can see that the two hemispheres on both sides have different parts of the body connected to it. And that is why we need so many mudras, because a different loop is created when we hold a mudra. So, the body is merely an instrument which functions based on the instructions of the mind. Like when you want to pick up a glass of water, the hand on its own can do nothing. It receives instructions from the mind that I am thirsty, I need water. Then the hand stretch out to pick up the glass of water. Now, to convince further how mind is connected to the action, suppose the mind has given the instructions to the hand to pick up the water, but then the mind is traveling somewhere else, and you can make a mistake. You would have experienced many times when you're talking to someone, you don't know where you're picking up from, picking up the glass from. So the mind is not present. That is what we call absent-mindedness. So instructions to the body are given by the mind. Otherwise, the body cannot function on its own. The communication between the body and the mind is through the central nervous system, which includes the spinal cord, and the brain. These two are important. Now, what is the role of mudras in this? The role of mudras is to stimulate the body, mind, and the brain through the manipulation of pranic flow. What I said, you can lock the energy where you want. So we can manipulate through the mudras. Whenever, as I said, any mudra is performed, the first impulse is generated in the brain. And when that impulse is generated, it forms a circuit or a loop in your body. Suppose you hold this mudra. A different loop is formed in the body. If you hold this mudra, a different circuit is formed. So energy keeps traveling back and forth in that particular loop. So energetic charge is built up. Now what happens? Over a time, when you keep performing a particular mudra, a certain portion of the brain which was dormant becomes active. And that is what, provides the remedial measures. That is how we feel better or cured. Most of us do not use the complete brain, just as we do not use our lungs fully. And these mudras help us to activate, stimulate the dormant portion of the brain. So when a sufficient amount of prana is created, unused areas of the brains are set in motion, and then there is an integration between the brain and the mind. So as you keep engaging, more and more areas of the brain become active, but it won't happen overnight. As I said, it takes time. First, all the stored negative energy, thought patterns, even your phobias, fears, all those will come out. Maybe one starts weeping to release all the negative emotions. After that, positive charge is built up. Like, when a glass of water is already full, you cannot pour anything into it. When you keep pouring in the bad water, when you keep pouring good water, unless the entire bad water is out, you don't get pure good water. So this is how it is. Unless all that negative energy is released, we will not get the positive energy built up. And then once that starts, gradually transformation starts. So we'll now have a look at Panchabhutas. As per Garbhopanishad, the human body is made up of the same Panchabhutas as the cosmos and as all the Jiva Jantu in the universe, including inanimate objects like even a table. They also are composed of the same Panchabhutas, but the composition, the proportion will be different. The human body is composed of 72% of water, 4% of fire, 6% vayu, 6% of ether, and 12% of earth. Fire is only 4%, but it is called the Adhipati of the Panchabhutas. Adhipati or the Lord of Panchabhutas, because to form any mudra, we need the thumb. Without the thumb, we can form no mudra. Now, this is important to understand. We must have a thorough, it should be memorized which finger represents which Panchatattva. Only then we will know what mudras we need to do. So, the little finger represents water, Jala Tattva. Then we have the Prithvi Tattva, ring finger, Anamika. Middle finger is Akasha Tattva, Madhyama. Tarjani or index finger is Vayu Tattva. This is how we A hand, without thinking, this finger comes up when you want to sort of warn someone or scold someone. And that agitation is always due to Vayu. So it'll be easy to correlate and remember agitation, Vayu, Vayu Tattva. And thumb, fire. So fire, Vayu, Akasha Tattva, Prithvi Tattva, Jala Tattva. These are very, very important to remember. Without this, you cannot understand or form any mudra. Now, each of these elements have their own nature, own characteristics, own traits. So, like suppose if you're feeling very irritable, the quality of water is a smooth flow. The quality of water is that it has no shape of its own. It takes the shape of the container. That means flexibility and smooth flow. So if you find you are not able to adjust to any situation or to anyone for that matter, and you're irritable in nature, it means your Jala Tattva is imbalanced. Like this, when we go into deeper classes, in the, longer classes, we explain about each tattva in detail. So you will be able to identify what is the imbalance in the body. And that is the way you can start your own mudra also. Now, this is how we can decrease, increase, or balance the mudras. To balance the mudra, whichever mudra it be, we just lightly touch that particular finger with the thumb. Thumb, as we said, is the lord of mudras and the lord of the tattvas. So it helps us to balance the tattva. This is balancing. When we want to reduce, we have to press that tattva. When Vayu is excess, we press the Vayu finger. So we are decreasing the Vayu element in the body. And suppose we want to increase a tattva, we place the thumb at the base of the concerned finger. Like if a person is very weak and wants to gain weight, the Prithvi is what provides us nourishment. So we place the thumb at the base of ring finger. So this is how we raise the tattva, this is how we balance, and this is decreasing the tattva. Now we have chakras. The human body has 7 main chakras, starting from the base, Mooladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura, Anhata, Vishuddha, Agnya, and Sahasrara. Each chakra has its own color. And to remember the colors, remember Vibgyor, starting from the head to the Mooladhara, starting from the crown to the Mooladhara. Violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, and orange and red. It is Vibgyor. Now, each chakra has its own characteristics. We know that if one, despite having everything, is always complaining, I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have this, that means living in scarcity. That means the Mooladhara chakra is out of balance. It is not energized or it is blocked. So similarly, each chakra gives us an idea. We know of its traits, functions, and then we can identify where is the blockage. Now the chakras, the lower 5 chakras, have the elements that we have just discussed. The Mooladhara has the earth element. Earth element is also connected to, how do we know about the earth? Through the Gandha. Gandha we can perceive through the nose. So problems related to nose, we need to use our Prithvi Tattva. Like that, for every chakra, there is a tattva, and all tattvas are connected to a particular ailment also. Like if you are having gynecological problems, It is usually the Swadhisthana chakra, water element. Taste. Tanmatra of Jala is rasa. Rasa, the taste we get through the tongue. So suppose like after you've had a course of antibiotics, normally you don't get taste in food. Do Jala Tattva. So you'll recover the taste. The tongue will start giving you that functioning its own purpose. So this is about chakras. Each chakra has its own, a free flow of energy is necessary in each chakra. So that energy can rise from Mooladhara to Sahasrara, which is the very purpose of human life. Then we have the Pancha Pranas. The prana, that air that we breathe in is not prana. Prana is a part of that air. And once that prana enters our body, it is divided into 5 different regions, has 5 different functions, and has been given 5 different names for the purpose of identification. It enters through the Brahmarandri and it is emitted through our fingers. Travels throughout the body. Different pranas have different functions. Different, like the apana prana is a downward flowing prana. This is a sideways flowing prana. And this is a inwards flowing prana. Each one has its own function. And as we can see from the diagram here, 2 chakras would be covered in apana prana. So this is also a very detailed study, but here right now what we have to know is that Pancha Prana movement in the body is very essential for us to maintain a healthy body and mind. They are responsible for creation and existence at the individual level, and they maintain the balance between the physical and mental levels. That is how Pancha Pranas are very important. So when we understand the flow of prana in the system, we shall be able to understand whether there is an issue in intake or assimilation or digestion or distribution. Now, a few things about the guidelines, how we should perform the mudras. Mudras, unless specified, always have to be with your palms facing upwards, resting on your knees. Touch has to be light. Ideally, one should sit and do it with your eyes closed. That is when you can experience the changes that's happening with the mudras. But in today's world, people do not have time. So they are doing it while watching TV, while walking, while lying down, which is fine. It still works. Only thing is, if you're sitting on a chair and doing, then please have a foot mat or a asana under your feet. Your feet should not directly touch the ground. That is very important. Mudras affect the glands, the nerves, the energy channels. They bring about a phenomenal change in your internal disposition, both physical, mental, clarity of thoughts, calmness of mind, and you feel more energetic. For anxiety, for whatever stress, and of course the physical ailments. And it creates sensation in the nervous system, and there is a definite change in the brain waves due to which you experience a different level of consciousness. If you hold, suppose, a Jnana Mudra and sit for 10 minutes quietly, you will see after 10 minutes, you will feel practically you're not breathing. You'll not feel your breathing. Your breath will slow down to such an extent. And when your breath is slow, means your mind is calm. And when the mind is calm, there is no stress. There is no agitation. All mudras, for that matter, bring calmness. But there are several mudras, particularly for people who have depression and stress and anxiety. Now we'll see a few mudras and then we can take questions. So the first, as I was talking about, is Jnana Mudra. It calms the mind, mental disorders, stress, blood pressure, and spiritual benefits. Spiritual benefits are phenomenal in Jnana Mudra. Jnana Mudra is just simple. I think most people know about this mudra. The index finger and thumb touch lightly, that's all. It should not be pressing, it's a very light touch. And the tips, long fingernails will not permit you to hold the mudra properly to get the benefit. And before I proceed with this, I'd just like to also specify that all mudras generate heat. There are 2 or 3 which generate excessive heat. So mudras require some extra water intake. So take water, have water before you start the mudras and after you finish. If you're doing it, say, for half an hour or 45 minutes, you should do that. And before you start your mudra session, take a few long, deep breaths and exhale the stale energy. That will help in quicker results because we have a lot of stale energy. So some in between, anytime during the day also, one must take long, deep breaths and exhale. You're releasing all the stress also in that. Timings for mudras is certain mudras work even in 30 seconds. And mudras for major ailments may take 45 minutes to create the elemental change. But certain mudras like Gyan Mudra, I said, will give you immediate results. Shunya Mudra for years give immediate results. Apanavayu Mudra for heart attack give immediate results. We'll be seeing all these today. So Jnana Mudra has a lot of spiritual benefits, connected to the 3 fingers that are not touching. They mean a lot. This means, they also represent the 3 states of consciousness. And what we need to do is, as we hold the Jnana Mudra, you can go beyond the 3 states of consciousness. And that is what, again, is the purpose of human life. These 3 fingers also represent the Trigunas, and we need to be Trigunatita. Sattva, Rajas, Tamas, we need to travel beyond. They also represent Trikala, so we have to become Kalatit. So spiritual benefits of this Jnana Mudra is phenomenal. If one goes into deeper practices, you will see the results. Then we have Shunya Mudra. This I have tried every time I take a flight because I always have ear blocks which last for 3 days. So once I started doing this, just, when the pilot announces that we are going to start descent, I hold this mudra for 10 minutes. And then I find that by the time you've picked up your luggage and you've come out of the building, my ears are clear. I do get a little discomfort, little pain, but not as it used to be lasting for 3 days. So for vertigo, ear blocks, tinnitus, jet lag, earaches, Shunya Mudra. Shunya, we have said, is this middle finger for Akasha Tattva. So Shunya Mudra is pressing the Tattva. This is also a part of Arogya Mudras, like people who have no major ailments can do Jnana Mudra, Shunya Mudra every day for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, just to keep you healthy. This is excellent. In fact, when I was in my childhood, I used to see my grandfather, whenever he yawned, he would do this, chutki jo, what we call. He would use the middle finger to do this. This is the Akasha Tattva. I used to think it's just a habit, but now I realize it does not allow jaw blocks. Sometimes when, senior people, they start yawning, the jaw gets blocked. So whenever you yawn, if you do this, the jaw will not get blocked. Or if your jaw gets blocked, do this. It works wonderfully. So many things our ancestors would do, but we didn't have answers. And perhaps even they didn't know, they were just doing it ritually. And we didn't even want to follow that ritual. The third is the Linga Mudra. You see the image? I'll show you how it forms. So Linga Mudra is clasp all your fingers together, and then the left thumb comes up, and the right index finger and right thumb are around the left thumb. It is the left thumb you have to remember. Okay? Nothing else in this. This is very good for people who experience chest problems with the change of weather, who have frequent cough and cold, and even for, sinusitis. It's for cough, cold, phlegm, asthma, and low fever, not for high fever, because this mudra generates a lot of heat. So it should not be done for high fevers. And this should not be done, it should be stopped once the problem is over. But for people, why I have put it under Arogya is people who have very frequent bouts of asthma attacks or cold cough. If they do it for 5 to 7 minutes every day, then they'll gradually, the resistance builds up. But once you feel after 3 to 4 weeks, you should stop it. This mudra is not to be done continuously. There are certain mudras you should do lifelong, but this is not amongst those. This is a very, very important mudra, Apana mudra. Responsible for elimination of waste, including gases, sweat, constipation, diabetes, and at the mental level, even the negative thoughts. Anything that you want to release from your body. For that is Apana mudra. I'll show you how to hold it. The middle finger and ring finger touch the thumb tip, and hands always like this. For the camera, I'm showing like this. Always like this, placed on your knees. Now, this mudra has certain other fantastic benefits. Number one is for pregnant women in the last month, not before that. Because remember, it is a downward flowing prana. So we do not want anything going wrong in the first 8 months. 1 month before the expected delivery date, if they hold this mudra, normal delivery chances are very high. Even for those whose first child has been a cesarean child. But remember, only in the last 1 month, not before that. Another very good benefit, and I've got a very good feedback on that, is it is very good for people who go for hiking or for climbing steps. You do not experience breathlessness. You can hold it for 5 minutes before you're supposed to climb steps and keep holding it as you're climbing steps, or when you're going for mountaineering or hiking or whatever it is. Another benefit is that it changes the taste buds. So people who are addicted to smoking or liquor or anything, you can ask them to hold this without telling them the purpose. Then the mind will start resisting. So just tell them it's for your good, and perhaps you will find they will be able to come out of it. So these are some very important benefits of this Apana Mudra. Then we have Prana Mudra. Yeah, Prana Mudra is another very important mudra. It is good for health and vitality, muscle cramps, and catch. See, Prana Mudra means we are holding the Prithvi Tattva and the Jala Tattva together. Prana Mudra means the circulation of Prana Shakti or the life force energy. And we draw our nourishment from the Prithvi Tattva and the Jala. So prana within the body circulates, so your health improves, vitality for muscle cramps, for muscle catch. And for people who are doing, 4, 5 mudras in a day for a particular ailment, at the end of the day, we advise to do this because this is like a support, like a vitamin support to all the other mudras. So this, after your entire regime of mudras, should be done at the end of the day for 10 minutes. Even if you have no ailments, do it for 10 minutes every day to maintain your good health. Then Apana Vayu Mudra, a very important mudra for heart. This is a combination of two mudras, Vayu Mudra and Apana. Apana we have just seen, and Vayu. The Vayu Mudra touches the base of the thumb. You press that index finger with your thumb, and the tip of the thumb is touching the middle and the ring finger. Little finger remains straight, hands turned like this, palms facing upwards, resting on your knees. Apana Vayu Mudra, excellent for people with heart problems. Even if they've had an attack, it will prevent recurrence. It will provide energy flow to the heart, release the stress, release the, here if you see, we are touching the space element. So heart attacks occur because we feel choked. Why do we feel choked? Because the space is not there. So this provides, increases the space around the heart. Choking is because there is no space. So this mudra is excellent for acidity and heart problems, bloating, gas, for everything. In fact, Acharya Keshav Dev, who is the person who has popularized mudras in India, he's done a lot of experiments and he says it works even faster than Sovitrate. So what happens when the person gets an attack? He may not be conscious enough to hold this, but you can tie it like this and make a rubber band or, hold it with your hand so that till he reaches the hospital, further damages do not occur. And it has, I'll give you an example of a lady who did this course with me in April. Before doing the course, she was admitted to the hospital because she was, sweating a lot and she was having a lot of heart palpitation and she was admitted to ICU, presuming it was a heart attack. After 24 hours, the doctors released her, saying it is just acidity. Now, after that, she did the course in April, and within a week, again, she got the same problem. She remembered the class and she had the recording and PDF. She opened the file. This was at 2 a.m. in the morning. She had that, at least the presence of mind, alertness. She opened the file, saw the mudra, and did it. And she said in 10 minutes, her heart palpitation reduced and she became normal. She sent me a mail the very next day that last time I was admitted to ICU for no reason, but this time I could save myself only with this mudra. So this mudra is called even Mrita Sanjeevani. That is what it is actually. It is also called Hridaya Mudra or Mrita Sanjeevani Mudra. So I always tell people to teach everyone at home about this mudra. Even if it's a child, because many times we wake up at night, we don't know what is the problem, but you're restless. And the restlessness is always due to gas. Do this mudra within a few minutes, you will be calm. It may not be a heart attack, it may just be a restlessness, but restlessness is only due to gas. Hold this mudra apana vayu and you will feel better. Raktapotu Mudra for blood pressure. It regulates both high BP and low BP. You just fold these two fingers. Apana Mudra we did like this. Here, these two fingers you fold in your palm, and all the other three fingers are straight. Regulates both high and low blood pressure. Again, palms facing upwards, resting on your knees. Then there is this Matsya Mudra, good for arthritis, aligns the spine, healthy functioning of various joints, relaxes strained muscles, not trained muscles, it's strained muscles. So here, Matsya means fish. So we are forming our, hand like a fish, the right on top of the left. Right. Yes. Just this, you can hold it for some time. Very good for osteoarthritis and other joint problems. Memory power, concentration, everything increases. Then we have
Ma'am, once again say about Matsya Mudra, no?
Matsya Mudra for osteoarthritis, aligns the spine, healthy functioning of various joints, and relaxes strained muscles.
Thank you. It's right hand over left hand or
Yeah,
other
right
way?
on the top, right on the top.
Thank you.
Then we have Mukula Mudra. For digestion, immunity, enhances power of chakras. Now, Mukula Mudra has very many benefits. Here also, as I was explaining this, for Mukula Mudra means we are balancing all the Panchatattvas. It is just folding all your fingers together. So we are balancing all the 5 elements over here. Again, hands will be placed like this. Now, in this, what happens is that apart from balancing this, it helps in the digestive process. And a very important thing, which again, I got a feedback within 10 minutes of my session. Like, suppose you have a pain on your left heel. Somebody had a pain on the left heel. And I had said, if you have pain on the left side, hold the Vayu Mudra on the right side, opposite. Okay. And the Mukula Mudra on the same side. Place it on the area of pain. And within 10 minutes, she messages me that you had explained in the session and I've got immediate benefit. So remember, opposite side is Vayu Mudra. Same hand is Mukula Mudra or Samana Mudra. Samana, the name itself tells you Samana, equalizer. So you hold it and keep this even for, eye problems and all, you can keep it on your eyes for quick relief of both the hands also you can keep on your eyes. So on the pain area, you keep the hand with Mukula Mudra, same side. Opposite side, you do Vayu Mudra. This will give you very good results, immediate results. It also enhances your immunity. Then we have Sahaja Shankh Mudra. Enhances spine flexibility, treats piles and other anal issues, and improves vocal cords. Sahaja Shankh. Clasp all your fingers together. The thumbs are together along each other, side by side. The thumbs do not cross. They are placed side by side. Okay. So this, as we said, it strengthens your spine for anal issues, flexibility of the backbone and vertebrae, and treatment of piles, helps in reproductive problem also, slip disc, improves vocal cords and the digestive system. Okay. So this is Sahaja Shank Mudra. So we have seen Jnana Mudra.
This, how to keep this mudra? How to
This
keep
is
it on?
just like this. You'll be keeping it at your abdomen, pelvic region. Your hands
Okay.
will rest.
Okay.
Thank you for asking. So we have seen Jnana Mudra with a lot of spiritual benefits, good for mind, good for your heart. We have seen Shunya Mudra for the ears. We have seen Linga Mudra for the chest and the respiratory system. Then we have seen Apana Mudra for elimination. We have seen Raktapotu Mudra for blood pressure. Prana Mudra for vitality. Matsya Mudra for spinal problems and osteoarthritis and joint problems. And Mukula Mudra for pain, immunity, digestive system. And Sahaja Shank Mudra for spine problems and anal problems. So now, any questions?
Ma'am,
No.
how long do we do one mudra?
It
For how
depends. It depends on the ailment. Like suppose it's Apana Vayu Mudra for heart. If anyone has a heart problem, do it for 10 minutes regularly. You can
And-
even do it while you're going for a walk. No problems.
Okay. And in a day, in a particular day, how many mudras can we do?
4 to 5, not more than that.
Okay, thank you.
For varicose veins, can you tell any mudra?
For varicose veins, it is Apana Mudra. And if it is excessive pain, you can put this Samana Mudra also over there.
Very nice.
Ma'am, for sleep disorder.
Sleep disc, I just said, this, there are many, many mudras.
Insomnia. I'm talking about insomnia. Sleep disorder.
Insomnia, do Jnana Mudra.
Okay.
मैम लास्ट ईयर आपने ना वो आइस के लिए सूर्य सन मुद्रा बताई थी, उससे मुझे बहुत फायदा हुआ क्योंकि मेरे
Surya
थोड़ा
Mudra is excellent for
मेरी
eyes.
वाटरी आइज है ना, तो आपने कहा था आई की कोई भी प्रॉब्लम हो तो उसको करने के बाद एक्चुअल में गर्मी लगने लगती है थोड़ी देर बाद।
Surya Mudra generates like Linga Mudra. Surya Mudra also generates बहुत ही.
इसलिए मॉर्निंग में ही करती हूँ फिर मैं, आपने बताया
It
था
should not be
morning
done
में।
during the middle of the day.
Ma'am, how to do that?
How to do
Surya
Surya?
Mudra is we suppress the earth element.
मैं डेली 10 मिनट्स करती हूँ उसको, बहुत फायदा है। मतलब मेरी वाटरी आइज है ना, तो थोड़ा सा काफी फायदा है मेरे को इससे।
This also helps in dry eyes also.
No, for dry eyes, do Jala Mudra. You balance the Jala Tattva.
Okay.
Suppose someone has pain in arthritis or something in fingers, and they can't keep
Vayu
them-
Mudra.
and then they can't keep it pressed because the
You try it every day. Try for 2, 3, 4 minutes. Gradually, you'll see over a period of week or 10 days, you'll be able to do it.
Okay, thank you.
Madam, for piles, which mudra is better?
That last, just now I said Sahaja Shanka Mudra. This one?
How it is?
The last
Okay,
one.
Okay. How many minutes we have to do?
Do it for 10 to 15 minutes every day.
Just once.
So all piles related problem will go off.
Pardon?
All piles related problem will
It should, it
disappear.
should. Piles is usually, it also is due to constipation. So ensure that you have smooth bowels also.
Just once in a day.
Yeah, enough.
And generally they say that you have to have mudras tight. While doing yoga, they say mudras tight. But you said
Mudra what?
mudras to keep the mudras in tight position. While doing yoga.
In what position?
Tight position.
Means press hard. You mean to say press hard?
Press hard, yes.
No. It should not be pressed hard. Some people, they start pressing very hard, the energy flow stops, and one person got swelling also.
In fact, mudras are touch screen. I like touch screen. We
Yes,
touch
absolutely.
the phone. It's like touch screen.
Madam, can you provide PDF of this today's session?
You'll have to
Yes.
ask, get set up.
I also want this. Actually, I joined late, little late.
Mhm. So actually, this is a very just an awareness session. My normal sessions are of total of 9 hours over 6 days, where I give extensive scientific details and about 60, 70 mudras.
How we get that detail, ma'am? I want to learn that course. I'm Varsha Ahuja here.
Okay, so you will get my contact details if you in Google. My website is there, mudraswithprem.com.
If you all have registered now, then you can get the recordings, and from that recording, you can take the screenshot of the PowerPoint presentation as for your notes. So those who have registered for the class, they can get the recordings in the app itself. So you can install the app. So thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, Premlata ma'am, for such a wonderful session.
What about for
Just-
iOS
just after this.
users?
What about?
Thank you so
For
much
iOS
wonderful
users,
session.
we are not
Wonderful.
getting the registered.
I will ask Siley to send it to you in the group, or like I'll ask her that for iOS user what we can do. Ma'am,
Okay.
we have to end the class as I have to launch the next session. So thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
ma'am, for
Thank
a
you, ma'am.
Thank
wonderful
you.